For this CA1 test paper, a total of 24 questions, 6 of which are of level 2 intermediate difficulty. The rest are easy. So without further ado, let's begin. Right, so question 1, we're going to simplify this expression right here. So I like to highlight, or you don't have to do this, but it's clearer to see what's going on. I will group all the b's together. So in this case, 7b plus b is 8b. 8b minus 2b's, that's 6b's. Then on to the real numbers, 8 minus 4 is positive 4. So the answer is number 2. Okay, question 2, we've got angles and we've got 3 straight lines right there. So which means 117 up here is going to be 117 down here. The rule is vertically opposite angles. Next, these 3 angles will add up to become 180 degrees. So if I know 2 of them, I can find angle S quite easily. So I shall sum up 28 and 117, giving me 145, and then angle S is therefore 180 minus this, giving me 35. Okay, question 3, class of 42, 24 boys. Well, girls must be 42 minus 24, giving me 18. So now just be careful that I have boys and girls here, but the ratio required is girls to boys. So let's take 18 is to 24 as shown here. Now notice that we have to simplify by 6, divide by 6. This is the simplest form. Question 4, we have a level 2. So what I like to do for such questions is to make this simpler to understand, and we shall use order of operations here. So there we go. 6 times 7, multiplication done first, so that's 42 plus 6. 2 times 7 is 14. We will sum this up and this gets us 48. So here 48 is equal to 14 plus an unknown. The unknown is therefore 48 minus 14 is 34. James bought this amount of peanuts. He packed the peanuts equally into bags of 1/16. Oh, that's like asking how many 1/16s are there in 3 quarters. Now the fact that 3 quarters has 4 as the denominator is very good. Let's turn it to an equivalent fraction, 12/16 kilograms. Well, they are the same thing, by the way. It's just an equivalent fraction. Now, why is that a good thing that the denominator is 16? Well, because 12/16 basically means 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 12 times. Well, the question is how many 1/16s are there in 12/16? The answer is 12. Because 12/16 basically means 12/16ths. And that means we have 12 bags. B, J, and K had some flour. The ratio of flour B had to J was 2:3. Okay, that's going to be shown here. B to J, 2:3. Jerry had 4/5 of K. Now, I like to look at this as 4 being Jerry's units. So that's 4 here. Now, compared to K, having 5. So let's see, why should J be 3 and 4 at the same time? No, let's turn it to 12, which means times 4 times 4. We've got 8. Times 3 times 3, which means 15 here. We are next told that the difference between K and B, so K 15 units, B 8 units, the difference is 7 units, and that represents 420 actual grams. So 7 units is 420 grams, 1 unit, we're going to divide by 7, 60 grams. How much did Jerry have? So that's 12 units. So 12 times 60, giving us 720 grams. Next, GST. The original price was $50 at a sale. Adam was given 20% discount. Okay, so if 20% is off, you're paying 80%. So what was the sale price? The sale price was 80% of 50. So we can write 80% as 8/10. Off as in multiply by 50. Simplify, cancel the 2 zeros. 8 times 5 gives us $40. So that's the discounted price. Now the 7% GST is applied to this. What is it called? The sale price of $40. So if this is $40, 100%, 1% must be 0.4 divided by 100. 7% must be $2.80. Now we're going to apply this GST in dollar terms, 280, to the sale price. So the 7% now is added to the sale price, which is $42.80. The common mistake students make is to think, okay, we're going to minus 20% because that's a discount. After that, we're going to plus 7%. No, that is wrong, okay? It is not, this is 20% off that 50. Yeah, that's correct. But this is not 7% off $50. No, this is 7% off the usual price. No, of the discounted price, which is why I'm finding out 7% off 40, not 7% off 50. So for this question, we are now going to substitute P equals to 7 into every instance of P here. So what I do is to say, okay, this is no longer 8P, this is now 8 times 7. This is no longer P plus 3, this is now 7 plus 3. So from here, just make sure you apply the rules, multiply, and then 10 over 2. Okay, this becomes 5. And then go from left to right, you get 61 minus 3, giving you 58. Question 9, JKLM is a trapezium, which means this line is parallel to this line. So one pair of parallel lines. 102 is here, 36 is here. What's JLK over here? Well, one rule you must know is that angles between parallel lines add up to 180 degrees, which means what? You see these two parallel lines right here? Like this and like this. Okay, these two angles must be 180 as a sum. Well, that's easy. 180 minus 102 minus 36 will give us 42 degrees. Question 10, order of operations. Well, I noticed that we have division here and multiplication here. So we are going to do that. Let's execute, shall we? So 63 divided by 9 is 7. 7 times 6 is 42. From here, we'll go left to right. So this is 92 plus 42, giving me 134. Question 11, a piece of string 68 cm long. Well, that's basically telling you the entire perimeter of this is 68 cm. So it's formed by a wire to form 3 squares. Okay, I like to assign unknowns here. What do I mean by that? Okay, look at the largest square here. And because it's a square, all sides are equal. So I'll call this AA. All right, and then 4 Bs and 4 Cs. Okay. Given that the perimeter was 68, okay, that tells me 4 A's plus 4 B's plus 4 C's is 68. Look at QR here. What's QR? QR is basically A, B, C. So if I've got 4A, 4B, 4C, I can find A, B, C very easily. Just divide the entire thing by 4. Yeah. So 68 divided by 4 gives me 17. Now, you can use long division, no problem, but I like to do this quicker because in paper 1, you can't use a calculator and time is limited, yeah? So 68 is made out of 40 and 28. What's beautiful about that? 40 divided by 4 is 10. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Question 12, we are dividing fractions here, plus the special requirement is mixed number as your final answer. So what we do is to take 9 over 28, you see this division sign here? Change it to a times and flip that 9 over 28. Okay, then check diagonally. Can we simplify? Yes, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Look at 7 and 28. That simplifies to 1 and 4. So next, top times top. So 1 times 4 is 4. Bottom times bottom. That 1 times 3 is 3. Do not forget the special requirement. We want a mixed number. So 1 and 1/3. A bubble tea sold 7Z cups on Monday. Well, make everything clear. Monday is 7Z. It sold this amount on Tuesday. Okay, this amount on Tuesday. The total was 550. Hey, we can form an equation with this. So 7Z plus 8Z minus 20 is 550. Okay, so that gives us 15 minus 20, 15Z's minus 20, move that negative 20 to the right side, that's a plus 20, so that's 570. Next, divide by 15. What I did was to divide by 3 first to simplify this. So you can obviously use long division, but I like to do this, yeah? Divide by 3 first, and then what's 100? Well, what was 150 divided by 5? That's 30. And then what's 40 divided by 5? That's 8. Of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, use long division. 14. Angie bought 3 kilograms of chocolates. She kept 2/5 for herself. So draw 5 units, 2/5 for Angie herself, and shared the rest equally with some children. We can see here it's 3 units out of 5 and 3 kg for everything. Each child received 1/5 kilograms. Okay, now what that means is let's find the actual kilograms left for the children, shall we? It is 3/5 of 3 kilograms. Okay, what's 3/5 of 3 kilograms? 3/5 of 3, that's 9/5. Now, if each child received 1/5, okay, how many 1/5s are there in 9/5? How many 1/5s are there in 9/5? It is 9. Can you see that? What is 9/5 basically? It is 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 9 times. So if each child had 1/5 and there are 9 1/5s, how many children are there? 9. One side unchanged. James had blue and purple. The number of blues to purple was 2:3 at first in the black ink. He gave away 56 as shown here. In the end, the ratio of B to P is 3:1. Okay, take note. They told you blue to purple. Sometimes if the teachers want to be sneaky, they will write purple to blue when they actually gave you blue to purple at first. So be aware of that little trick there. So in this case, the trick is not there. All right, so 2:3, 3:1. Now, if no change happened to the blue ones, why should they be different, 2 and 3? No, they shouldn't be different. So let's turn both into 6, shall we? So times 3 times 3 times 2 times 2. Now this makes more sense because nothing happened to the blues, they should remain the same. But look at the purple side. 9 units minus 56 gives us 2 units. Doesn't that mean 7 units represents the 56? Yeah, actually it does. So what does the question want? Blue markers that James had. So we're interested in 6 units then. So if 7U is 56, 1U is 8, 6U is therefore 48. There are 32 children in a group, 20 of them were boys. So total 32, 20 boys, which means 12 girls. What percentage of the children? Now, because of the children, the number of children will be the denominator, 32. Okay, girls, so let's put 12. Now, what did I do here? So 12 over 32, I want a percentage. Remember, when we want percentages, we want our denominator to be 100, yeah? So I'm going to divide by 4, which gives me 3/8. All right. If you know your numbers, 8 times 125 gives me 1000. Okay. So the beautiful pairs basically are 8 and 125 giving 1000. So let's multiply 3 by 125 as well. Now, what's cool about having this 1000? It's that if I jump 1 decimal place to the left, I will get my 100 as a denominator. So if I divide by 10, okay, basically what we're doing is dividing by 10. I won't get 375 anymore. I will get 37.5. And that is 37.5%. Okay, looking at this diagram right here, because of this 72, the other side must be 72 as well, vertically opposite angles. And because of the fact that these two lines are parallel, that 70 will appear here due to corresponding angles. Okay, we are asked to find EAF, which is this unknown angle right here. Well, inside this triangle, you can already tell I've got 2 of those angles, yeah, 72 and 70. So EAF is therefore 180 minus those 2 angles. That gives us 38 degrees. The rule here is sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180. Now, there are more than one methods. There is more than one method to do this. So I like to do it using unit and quantity. So let's take a look. A book costs $5.40 more than a pen. So that means book 1 unit plus $5.40, pen 1 unit. So this unit cost, right? Basically the cost of 1 item. Next, Mindy bought 2 books. Okay, so the quantity is basically how many of the items do you buy? In this case, it's 2 actual books and 4 times as many pens. Is it 4 pens? Nope. It's 4 times as many pens. That's 8 pens. So 2 times 4 is 8. The number of pens bought is 8. Well, okay. The total spending was $36.80. So 1U plus 540, what's 2 of that? That is 1U times 2, which is 2U, and 540 times 2, which is $10.80. Okay, 1U, give me 8 of that. That's 8 units. So we can form an equation right here. These two must add up to become $36.80. So this is my equation. 2U plus 1080 plus 8U is 36.80. How much did each pen cost? We are interested in 1 unit. Okay, so let's solve the equation, shall we? So the total bought is this. Let's combine the 8 and the 2 becomes 10 units. Move this positive 1080 to the right side. That's 9 minus 1080. That's $26. 10 units is this. 1 unit is therefore divided by 10. So that's jump 1 decimal place to the left. That is $2.60, and that's 1 unit, which is the cost of 1 pen. Question 19. Chester had 20 more than Brian. Now, not that useful yet. So Brian used 4/7 and Chester used 3/5 of what he had. Okay. In the end, they had the same number left. Well, this looks to me like a numerators the same question. All right. Okay. So what do we do with this? If 4/7 of Brian was used, that automatically means 3/7 was left. If 3/5 of Chester's stickers were used, 2/5 left. Because we are told they had the same number of stickers left, then 3/7 of B is equal to 2/5 of C. This is the classic situation for numerators the same. So if you tell me 3 units of B is the same as 2 units of C, well, let's have them be the same. So we're going to times 2 and times 2. Okay? And we're going to times 3 and times 3. Now this makes sense. 6 units of B is equal to 6 units of C. Now they are the same, but look at the denominators here. What's the usefulness of this then? This tells me B had 14 units at first, and C had 15 units at first, which means C had 1 unit more. Hang on, Chester had 20 more than Brian. Doesn't that tell me that the 1 unit is 20 actual stickers? Right? If Brian had 14, Chester had 15, the difference is 1 unit, and the difference we are told is 20 actual stickers. How many did they have altogether at first? We are interested in 29 units. Therefore, 29 times 20 gives me 580. The breadth of a rectangle is 3/5 of its length. Okay, this tells me the breadth was 3 units, the length was 5 units, as shown in this diagram here. The perimeter, hang on, that's 2 5 units and 2 3 units. It's 48 actual centimeters. What is the breadth then? We are interested in 3 units, yeah? So 2 5s and 2 3s, that's 10 plus 6, that's 16 units, equal 48. 1 unit is 3 centimeters. What's the breadth here? 3 units then. So 3 units is therefore 9 centimeters. Okay, we are told we want the area, which is 5 units times 3 units. Well, we already got 3 units, that's 9 centimeters. 5 units is 15. So now we're just going to take length times breadth, which is 15 times 9, giving us 135 square centimeters. At first, Tom had $2 and $10 notes in the ratio of 5:2. Take note that 5:2 is representing the physical notes, yeah, not value. He then exchanged 2 pieces. Okay, so $2 notes, $10 notes, 5U, 2U. Exchange 2 pieces. That's 2 actual pieces taken out physically. Now, what's the dollar value of that? Okay, that's $20. All right. And exchanged, okay, with his mother for $2 notes of the same value. Okay, how many $2 notes are there going to be? Here. That's 20 divided by 2. That's 10 actual dollar notes. Okay, so these 10 $2 notes will get added to here. So what's 5U plus 10? 5U plus 10. What's 2U minus 2? 2U minus 2. Okay. In the end, the ratio of 2 to $10 notes was 5:1. Okay, look at this right here. Okay, the way I like to visualize what's going on is this. So imagine 5 units here like that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 1 unit. Now this right here is 5U plus 10, and this right here is 2U minus 2. Okay, now do you realize that if I multiply this by 5, what do I mean by that? Okay, let's pretend we're going to times 5. What happens? They will be the same, correct? If I take this 2U minus 2, if I times 5, it will be exactly the same as 5u plus 10. That is something we can use to form an equation. So 5u plus 10 it will be exactly the same when you take 2u minus 2 and multiply it by 5. Okay. This is therefore 5 times 2u, that's 10u. 5 times negative 2, that's negative 10. From here, I like to basically say, all right, okay, I like to say, what's the big fat u here? What do I mean by that? 5u and 10u, which one is larger? 10u, right? So 10u stays on the right side. So this 5u will come over, positive 5u becomes negative 5u. Okay, what's on the left first? 10, right? So 10 stays here. So look at this negative 10 now. It's going to go to the left side, so it becomes positive 10. So what's 10u minus 5u? That's 5 units. 10 plus 10 is 20. Okay, 1u is therefore 20 divided by 5. That is equal to 4. 1u is equal to 4. Question. How many $10 notes did he have at first? $10 notes at first, that's 2 units. That's what we're interested in. So if 1u is equal to 4, 2u is equal to 8. Part B, how much money at first? Okay, we actually need to know, well, we know that there were 8 $10 notes. Okay, we need to now know how many $2 notes there were. So we're interested in 5 units. Okay, so 5 units is therefore 20. 1u is 4, 5u is 20. Okay, that's 20 $2 notes, right? And 8 $10 notes. What's the value at first? 8 $10 notes, 20 $2 notes. That's $80 plus $40, that's $120. The common mistake that students make may be to say that, okay, this is 5u, this is 2u, you want what's at first? I'm going to find 7 units. No, you don't do that. Okay, you have to find separately and multiply by the dollar value separately. Okay, so ABCD is a rectangle, ECD is an isosceles triangle, ED equals to EC. So what I like to do is to mark out everything here, ED, EC, isosceles, and then we've got a rectangle, so AB is equal to DC, and of course AD equals to BC. And just mentally check that all the numbers are written down. 42 is here, 113 is here. Find ECB. Okay. Since ECD is an isosceles triangle, we can find what EDC is, okay? And we can find the base angles basically. So we'll take 180 minus 42 and then take that divided by 2, which is 69. So this is 69 as the base angles right here. Don't forget, the corners of a rectangle equals to 90 degrees. They are right angles, yeah? So what is ECB therefore? ECB is therefore 90 degrees minus this 69 degrees, giving us 21. Next, in EDB, so where is EDB? It's right here, EDB. Well, look at this 113 here. This is 113 on the inside as well because of vertically opposite angles. Then this should be easy to find, because in this triangle here, I've got 42, I've got 113. So we can find this angle straight away. So 180 minus these two angles, 42 and 113. So we have 180 minus 155. The answer is 25 degrees. Mary had $200. She spent 1/5 on some wet wipes and 3/8 of the remaining on some hand wash. Okay, the moment you see fraction of something and fraction of the remaining, this is a classic branch method kind of question. Yeah. So my diagram reflects that by showing her having $200 at first. 1/5 on wipes, by the way, we know exactly how to find the dollar value on wipes. Now, but 1/5, which means 4/5 remaining, and 3/8 of the remainder on hand wash, and 5/8 on masks. Okay, the rest on masks. How much did she spend on masks? Okay, now in classic branch method fashion, what's spent on what fraction of the total was spent on masks? So what I like to do is to think of the train track linking. All right, what fractions did we have to pass through? 4/5 times 5/8 of that $200. So 5/8 times 4/5 times $200, this is 100 actual dollars spent on masks. Okay, Mary bought 14 packs of these two types of masks. Oh, we are focusing on the $100 then. And the cost of one pack is of this, each item is this. How many of this did she buy? Okay, we can use guess and check. Basically, we know that $100 spent in total and 40 packs, okay, were obtained. All right, so as long as we guess such that, okay, so I started out with 20 because the total must be 40, yeah? So surgical 20, N95 20, each is $2, each is $7, and the total we're looking for is $100. So we can just play around. We first guess we got too much, so let's reduce the more expensive item, yeah? So the more expensive item is N95, so that's -1. And then let's +1 to surgical. So what happened? There's a decrease of 5. Now you can keep going until you reach $100, no problem. Okay, but from here I ask myself, all right, currently I want 75, I'm looking for 100. So what's the difference there? That's 75. So each step I'm decreasing by 5, by 5, by 5. So 75, 175. Next step is 170. Next step is 165. Next step is 160. Keep doing that 15 times. How many 5s is that in 75? Keep doing that 15 times and you get to $100, which is what we're looking for. Okay, so if I do that 15 times, that would be decreasing by 1? No, decreasing by 15. And add 1? No, add 15. Okay, then the answer is number 4. How many N95 masks? 4 N95 masks. Those of you who actually know what make a supposition is, you can also use that method, but this is guess and check, which is slower, but for small students, easier to understand. Okay, question 24, we have a level 2. So there were 40 more girls than boys in the school hall. So I'm going to draw a block and a block and 40 more for girls. Next. 2/5 of the girls, 1/3 of the boys left the hall. Now, come with me on this, right? Okay, 2/5 of the girls left the hall. How would you normally show that with a model? You would draw 5 units and shade 2 units to show that they left, right? Gone, no more. Next, 1/3 of the boys left. You would draw 3 units, shade 1 unit, gone. Okay. Now, what if these two blocks are of the same length? Why would you torture yourself by using 5 different units and 3 different units? But if the blocks are of the same length, why don't you turn them both into a nice number, like 15? Like imagine this situation here where you've got 6/15 and you've got 5/15. Isn't that glorious if you can call this 15U and you can call this 15U? No fuss, right? Because they are of the same length anyway. Why would you want to use 2 different units? 5 and 3. Now we can turn both into 15 units. So we can just shade 6 units and we can just shade 5 units. And the total for both are 15 units. And this is exactly what I will do, okay? So, and the reason why we can do that is only because of this first line right here, which enables me to draw 2 equal blocks and an extra 40 up here for girls. Okay, that's the only reason why I can make the units the same, 15 units, because the length of the blocks is the same. So let the boys be 15U and the girls be 40 more, 15U plus 40. Okay, now we're gonna do the work of showing how many units left. So 2/5 of the girls, isn't that 2/5 of the 15 and 2/5 of the 40? Okay, that's what we'll do. 2/5 of that 15 is going to give me 6 units. 2/5 of that 40 is going to give me 16. So remember, 6U plus 16 left, okay? They're gone. Okay, 1/3 of the boys left, so what's 1/3 of 5 units? That's 5 units. And my diagram shows this, okay? 6U and 16 of the girls left, 5U left. Okay, at this point, we're going to find what's the number of girls and boys left. So if 6U left, and originally there were 15, so that's 9U remaining. Yeah, girls remaining is 9 units and 40 minus 16, 9 units and 24 remaining. Next, what's the boys remaining? 15U minus 5, that's 10 units remaining. We are now told that there were 18 more girls than boys remaining. 18 more girls than boys remaining, okay? What can I visualize that as? You see this 9u plus 24 that's remaining? That's 18 more than the boys remaining, and the boys remaining is 10u. So what can we see here? I can form an equation by saying if you add 18 to that 10u, it would be exactly the same as 9u plus 24. You see what's happening? If I add 18 to 10 units, it will be exactly the same as 9u plus 24. So what can we do with that? Yes, add 18 to 10 units, it will be exactly the same as 9u plus 24. So that is an equation we can work with. So what's the larger unit here? 10 units, right? So 10 units stays, 9 unit comes over. 24 stays, positive 18 goes over. So that's 1u equal to 6. Now, we are asked for the number total at first. Okay, if you look at the diagram, total at first was 30 units plus 40. Okay, since we have obtained 1 unit as 6, what's 30 units plus 40? That's 30 times 6 plus 40, giving us 220. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of this paper. Hope it's been useful to you. Bye.